Kevin had asked Rudy about me. He wanted to get some background information about me. He says, "You're gonna have to hang out with Frankie to see what he's like and make up your own mind." And so out of nowhere, I get a phone call one day, and it's Kevin. So he asked me if I was doing anything that night. I said no, and he goes, "So you want to go to the Rainbow?" And I said, "Sure, but you're gonna have to pick me up because I don't have a car." So he said, "Okay," and he came and picked me up in his yellow Opel GT, which was the poor man's Corvette. And so he comes into my apartment, and we looked at a bunch of records, and it was great because a lot of the records I had, he had. So all of a sudden, that was the beginning of our music appreciation relationship, because here's like two guys that are listening to pretty much all the same thing, which nobody else was listening to. So I get in his car, and we're on the way to the Rainbow, and I said, wait. Go past the Rainbow and go to Gil Turner's Liquors. And he said, okay. And so we parked the car and we went in, and I said, "Do you have any money?" And I think he had $10, and I think I had $7. And I said, "Okay, we'll each put in 5, and we got a bottle of Mouton Cadet, white wine." And we took it out to the car, and no bottle opener or anything. I just kept pushing the cork in with my thumb until it went through, and I downed half the bottle, and I gave the other half of the bottle. And he goes, "You expect me to drink this?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Why?" And I said, "Primer." And he laughed, and he drank the other half of the bottle. And by the time we pulled up to the parking lot of the Rainbow, which was like a block and a half away, we were lit. So we go into the Rainbow, and he went one way and I went the other. And that's the last we saw each other that night. So the next day, I run into Rudy at McNaturals, and he says to me, "What happened with you and Kevin last night?" And I said, "What do you mean, what happened with me and Kevin?" And he goes, "Yeah, he called me up this morning." He goes, "That guy's an asshole." And I said, why did he think that? And he goes, "Because he says you guys walked into the Rainbow after drinking half a bottle of wine each, and then you disappeared and you left him there." And I said, "How could I leave him there? He had the car." And so that was Kevin's introduction to the way I was at the time. I really didn't have any money to work with. As a matter of fact, I used to get dressed up in my best rock and roll regalia and go into rehearsal studios and with a stick bag and pretend that I was there on business. I was there for a rehearsal. And my only purpose was to go through the rehearsal studio's garbage cans and take out drum heads that somebody else might have thrown away because they were definitely better than what was on my kit. That's how broke. That was that reality. So I'd go to the Rainbow because it was walking. I was living in West Hollywood at the time, and it was walking distance from the apartment I was at. But no money. So I would dress the part of the rock star so that I could actually get in and not be ignored. But then I had no money. So how I fed myself is, there'd be people with money, mostly musicians who were successful, and they had the pizza sitting, and I would just, I would scan the room, and when I saw that somebody was paying like attention to the girl they were chatting up, I'd walk by and just take a slice of pizza and keep walking. And then you had to wash the pizza down with something, so the next table nobody's paying attention, and it's vodka Collins. And the next table is Bloody Mary, and the next table is something else. And I made the rounds until I was satisfied. Tony and Michael at the Rainbow still are, in a way, my saints. Because here I am, a nobody, who's walking around basically a troublemaker because I'm stealing people's food and drinks. And Michael kind of turned the blind eye to it. I don't know why, because I've seen him throw so many people out for the same thing, but for some reason he didn't do it to me. And then Tony, who's a good Italian boy, he would invite me into the kitchen and feed me. And it was really great because he had this little booth, just 2 chairs, his and mine. And he would invite me, and then after a while, he would call me up and says, "Hey, I'm going to make pasta fagioli, so if you want to come down tonight, I'll feed you." And it was an incredible act of kindness, something I've never forgotten, because I meant nothing. I looked the part, but I meant nothing. And they took this almost fatherly kind of affection for me, which I still hold dear.
So do you still go to the Rainbow?
I rarely go there anymore, but when I go, the first thing I do is go see Michael, give him a hug, give him a kiss on the cheek, and then if Tony is there, he's only there limited days now, not like in the old days when he was there every night. I still go into the kitchen and I kiss his ring, and he immediately wants to feed me. He'll pour me a glass of the best wine he has, not what the regular customers are drinking, and he always asks me if I want a shot of anisette with espresso beans at the bottom, as is customary to do by well-groomed Italians.
That's a nice story.
I actually got a little misty thinking about it because it was, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.